Hello, everybody. This is John Paval with Access Arts Live with the weekly organ recital roundup for this week of November 25th to December 1st, Monday through Sunday. Let me fix my bow tie. All my bow ties are hand tied, so they're always calling for fixing. Anyway, and I have figured out how I can display photos to you at the same time as you can see me, which until now I was not able to do with our programming. So here we are. You'll be able to see my gueule, as the French would say, through the whole thing. And let's get started right away because the first of these live streams of organ recitals is today, Tuesday, November 26th. It is. And I put you're going to find that there's a wrong date in the the description notes unless I get it fixed. So anyway, it's coming to you from St. James Cathedral in Toronto. And what you see there on your screen, there is the keyboard. It's relatively new. It was only installed about a year ago at St. James Cathedral, and they were very excited about it, did a lot of posts about it. It was built by Le Tourneau company and installed just last September of 2023. And then there is the organ itself, the pipes to the right. This particular organ has 87 ranks, 67 speaking stops, over 4 manuals and 6 divisions, 5,101 pipes. The organs in this church go back to the 1860s with rebuilds in the 30s and the 60s, but the latest rebuild was in 1976 by L.I. Phelps and Associates. The organist that will be playing at St. James this Sunday, let me pull up a picture of him for you. I'm going to be able to do this as we go along. It's Jean-Paul Fayot. He should appear in a moment. There he is. And Jean-Paul is the newly appointed, as of September of this year, Wayne Vance Organ Scholar at St. James, Toronto. He's an organist, singer, and he's interested in early music. And St. James has a weekly concert series of early music, which unfortunately I do not believe is live streamed, or we'd be telling you about that too in our chamber music roundups. Anyway, he studied we're told he studied at St. Michael's Choir School under Yuri Krachowski and David Simon, and that he's done recitals across Toronto. That's about it. Grace Church on the Hill, and St. Michael's Cathedral Basilica. He'll be playing a picture. He'll be playing a program of music by this guy, and he put up his picture about it. So I thought I'd share it with you too. It'll be music by Herbert Howells, including the 3 song preludes, Opus 32. He wants you to know. So if you're du er sugen for an organ concert, if you're in the mood for or craving an organ recital concert, it's today, Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, which will be 10 a.m. On the West Coast, and 7 o'clock in the evening here in Europe. And right now it's 5:35 here in Europe. So it's in an hour and 25 minutes if you're watching this in real time. And anytime you're watching it in, know that those are the times when it will be live streamed free of charge on their YouTube channel. Coming up next, there are, as usual, 2 recitals for you on Wednesday, roughly lunchtime UK time, and someone's trying to call me from France, and I have to turn that call off. That was on our Instagram channel. This one is on the Glasgow. Let me show you the Glasgow University Chapel organ. There's the organ that Chris Nichols will be playing. It was a Willis organ, but not a Father Willis organ, a Henry Willis organ. Henry Willis III in 1927, but was most recently refurbished and roughly rebuilt, more or less, by Harrison and Harrison in 2005. And you're going to find also that the Temple Church, which is broadcasting at about the same time on Wednesday, also, I believe, is a Harrison and Harrison organ. Let me double check that for you just for a second. Yes, it is. So you have a choice of two different Harrison and Harrison organs. Anyway, that's the organ. Now, the organist is Chris Nichols, or Christopher Nichols, as he's sometimes called. I have a picture of Chris, too. It takes a second or so to get these people up online, but I think it's worth it so you can still see me. Christopher Nickol was born in Cambridge, was a music scholar at Ampleforth College and an organ scholar at Royal Holloway College, London University, and then a postgraduate scholar at the Royal College of Music. He's currently the director of music at New Kilpatrick Church in Bearsden, Glasgow, has been for the last 30 years, since 1993. He's also a pianist at the Dance School of Scotland, a staff member at the Royal Conservatory of Scotland. And if I'm not mistaken, he regularly goes to a place called the Glasgow Kelvingrove Art Gallery, where they have daily organ recitals. And he's done recitals there about 750 times, they tell us. So this guy likes to get around and play music. But the really cool thing about him, so you know, and we don't know what his program is because as many of these recitals, they just don't tell us. But when he learned the news that David Bowie had died, he did a recital on the organ playing Life on Mars. And I think we're going to include the link to that on Facebook in the comments section so you can check it out. I hope that we do. If we haven't done it, I will add it in. We don't know what he's going to be playing. I doubt he's going to be playing Life on Mars, but you never know with Chris Nickol. Now, that's at 1:10 p.m. Wednesday, UK time, 2:10 p.m. European time, 8:10 in the morning on the East Coast, 5:10 in the morning on the West Coast, and a little bit after midnight down under in Australia, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Now, he'll be followed by Charles Andrews. 5 minutes after he starts, Charles Andrews will be firing up the organ at the Temple Church, London. Charles Andrews is a heavy hitter. He's the liturgical organist of Temple Church, London, and he's a professor of organ and the organ coordinator at the Royal College of Music. So I don't know how else to say it. He's not slicing potatoes, okay? And again, we don't know what his program's going to be. I don't know why they don't tell people in advance. I think it would be, like just minimal for marketing purposes, but they don't. I can show you the Temple Church organ, at least the pipework of it. And I can tell you a little bit about it. It's a Harrison and Harrison organ built in 1954, 4-manual organ, complete with, they tell us it has 3 32-foot stops, which is a big deal. Now, the Temple Church website, we have a little controversy, and I want to invite you to comment. The Temple Church website tells us that the organ case currently of the church, as of the Harrison and Harrison limited intervention, is modeled on original drawings of the Temple's Father Smith organ from 1688. However, when I said that this was the case, we received comments online suggesting that this is not true at all. And also suggesting that I should not just believe what the Temple Church says on their website. Let us know what you think of this controversy. I throw it open to you. We will be recirculating this live stream to organ-loving group pages on Facebook. So have at it, folks. Should I believe what the Temple Church London tells me about that organ, or should I not? Especially if there's anybody who has any inside knowledge on the subject, I would love to hear that. That's it for Wednesday. We don't have anything for you on Thursday because usually on Thursday these days, we can count on having something from the Roman Catholic Cathedral of Moscow, which has a very interesting organ that was a gift from a Reformed church in Basel, Switzerland. But this week, they're more involved with an International Guitar Festival concert on Thursday, and on Saturday, they are having sort of an organ concert, but it's a symphony. So there's an orchestra plus the organ and other things, and I can't really consider that an organ recital. But you might want to check out when we do our weekend update on Friday, or keep track of our page, because we will keep you informed about that concert on Saturday, November 30th at the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. What we have up next for you is Friday, the ever interesting Canon Martin Green at St. Paul's, San Diego. Martin Green, he almost never tells us what he's going to play in advance, but he's done such terrific things. Like last week, of course, we didn't find out until the day of. They invited Jacqueline Fitzgibbon, who's an oboist and recorded player, to come and play a piece by Nicholas Olson that was commissioned for her performance at St. Paul's Cathedral, which is really interesting. And in the past, he has dug up organ nuggets that were composed by composers who were in the United States and Philadelphia for like 3 years and then left. But those are original pieces of early American music, and he always has these wonderfully articulate but understandable explanations of why he chose the pieces that they're playing and why they are musically interesting to him, without becoming the kind of musicologist that you don't follow him after a while. So let me give you a picture also of the organ console and the pipe work at St. Paul's, because I have a nice picture I put together for you. There it is. There's the 4-manual console and then the pipes. And I can tell you that this organ has the longest history of any in San Diego, but it was rebuilt in 1969 by Aeolian Skinner, Opus 1495, if you want to look it up. Retaining the best pipework from previous instruments, it was the last of Aeolian Skinner's, or one of the last of their installations west of the Mississippi. It had a complete rebuild in 2012, though, by Quimby Pipe Organs, Opus 68 in their listings, and currently has 4 manuals, 98 stops, 86 ranks, 115 draw knobs, and 4,933 pipes. And here, as for all of these listings, we are giving you, for those of you who are real organ experts, we give you the link to these specifications of the organ. Because listen, I am not an organ expert. What I am about is promoting all of the live streams of all the performing arts online. And to do so, I need to learn, enough so that I can explain the basics to you and then direct you to where you get more of the specifics. So that's what we have for you from St. Paul's Cathedral. Now, that concert takes place at 1 o'clock. Let me double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So that's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast and 10 o'clock in the evening in Europe on Friday evening, November 29th. Finally, we wind up the week this weekend with Thomas Ospital, one of the resident organists at Saint Eustache Church in Paris. There he is, looking very serious. Now, and it shows you there also, this is their typical ad that they put up on YouTube. It shows you also what he's going to be playing. He'll be playing some Bach, some Gabriel Fauré, and Marcel Dupré. So the French tend to play. What's interesting, they talk about the golden age of organs was Bach and Pachelbel. And then the silver age of organs was the French. People like Marcel Dupré and all. So, and César Franck and his magnificent symphony for organ. Oh, I ran across that by chance. Last time I was in Paris, it just floored me. I mean, I walked into a concert just by chance, not at up in Montmartre, but not up at the Basilica, in the little church, the working class church down the hill at the Place des Abbesses. And they were doing it, but they were halfway through it. So then they were redoing the concert 2 days later down in another part of Paris, and I went to it, and it just floored me. It just, the César Franck's symphony with the organ in it is just amazing. If you're an organ lover or interested in it, you don't know or if you don't know, should you be interested in the organ, go listen to that symphony and you'll be convinced. Anyway, that's what he's going to be playing. Now, here's the thing. The organ at St. Eustache Church is badly in need of restoration. And they're, taking donations every week. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking for the organ. Yeah, here it is. I have a photo of it that I can put up. Took me a moment to get it. You'll never see this organ on the right looking so bright and clean and lovely, because French churches are dank and they tend to be grimy, and that's the case at Saint Eustache. Now, the people flood in to these concert recitals. They get 200-300 people. All the seats that they set aside in about half the church get filled, and there's standing room people behind them. The French, the Parisians love these recitals, and you can, if you want, you can go on their website and donate to have your name put on one of the pipes when they're renovating it. So that's what they have been asking for. This is a Van den Heuvel organ now, and it was built in the 1980s after another organist. Organ company totally failed to do their job. They had this big competition in 1980. There was an organ company that won. I won't name it. I don't want to slander them. 6 years later, they still didn't have a functioning organ. So the French said, forget this. And they did another contest, and Van den Heuvel won. And they installed this organ with 101 stops and 5 manuals. And they did other things to adjust the tones and the harmonies to suit Jean Guillou, who was the resident organist at Saint Eustache until 2015, which is when Thomas Ospital and his colleague Baptiste Florian Mal-Ouvrard, whose name I adore, were chosen as the new resident organist as he retired. So that's the organ you get to play. But what I wanted to tell you was, like, ordinarily, after these recitals are done, they store online the recording of the recital, and I got some guy who went to see the recording because he'd seen me talk about the live stream. We're all about live streams. I'm not impressed by going to see the recording. See the live stream. Be there, present, while the artist is creating out of love this experience of truth and beauty. But anyway, but then I got a complaint that the guy could not find the recording of the live stream because they didn't put it up. Because it was one point, he was doing the 3 chorales by César Franck. At one point, I think it was at the beginning of the 3rd chorale, he pulled out a stuff, and it got stuck. And there was like this note, like an A flat for maybe 5 seconds. And I think there must have been other things that went wrong that didn't suit him. So he just said, no, we're not putting that one up. So hopefully this one goes more smoothly. Hopefully they've worked out whatever kinks were brought up by that. And life can go on and everybody can be happy. Okay. So that's what we have for you for this week. Organ recitals Tuesday. We have at St. James Church starting up in just over an hour now. On Wednesday, the Glasgow University Chapel organ or the Temple Church London organ. On Friday, it's St. Paul's Cathedral in San Diego with the marvelously articulate and ever interesting Canon Martin Green. And on Sunday, it'll be Thomas Ospital, who, by the way, is a top organist. He also teaches at the Paris Conservatory, and he knows his stuff. So when he plays this stuff, he plays it well. He wouldn't be at Saint Eustache otherwise. The French are far too snobbish to accept anything less than the absolute best. Ciao for now. All of these are free of charge. I think they're almost all on YouTube. There's usually a comment box. Check the comment box on YouTube to see if Access Arts Live is there. And if there is, say hello to me and let me know I was the one who brought you there. And if I'm not there, say hello to the moderator and let the moderator know that Access Arts Live brought you there, so we get a little bit of credit for this. I hope that one, any, or more of these live streams is uplifting and inspiring.